I'm Tyrone Field, and here's the deal. He ain't no Neil, but he's just as real. The little stick with the upright kick that carries on when the fat man's gone. So you can stay and maybe play, or you can split. We don't give a shit.
This Sunday, your favorite news magazine show, 60 Minutes, goes bilingual. Now you can get the news you need in both English and Spanish with Dan Rather.
Viene y hora en 60 minutos. ¿Qué es este mierda?
Translation.
Coming up on 60 Minutes. What is this Andy Rooney.
Si tú nunca sabías, maldita mierda no sabe.
Translation.
Did you ever notice this sucks? And Mike Wallace.
Oh, soy impotente. Impotente? Impotente? Mama me huevo.
Translation.
I am impotent. Impotent? Impotent? Suck my Say cente minuto. It may mug huevo, but it will sure make mucho dinero. This Sunday.
10 o'clock on 560 WQAM. It's exactly 10, even though we just played a minute-long bit. I don't mind getting an early start because the first segment's a little short anyway. I barely have enough time to get what I want to say off my chest before it's time for that break. So I think we'll push that break ahead anyway. I mean, what the hell? Let's just play around with the format this week. By the way, it's George this week, in case people are just tuning in or we're a little bit slow. He'll be back a week from today, March 1st, on his 23rd anniversary, 23 years in this stinking rat hole that we call a city. A lot of crap. Should I just start out with the power thing? Because I did that open for just that purpose. Because our good friend Mark Mosley, who does some work on the PJs, and he does Tyrone in the morning. Good people at Power 96, most of them. And it's kind of backwards. It's the reverse of what you think it ought to be, where the people that are the higher up on the ladder, the more celebrated, the higher celebrities at Power 96 are really cool with us, at least with me. How have they been with you, Joe Castello? Joe Castello is with us today, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone.
How are they with you?
They've been
the
fantastic.
power people. They've been fantastic, most of them. But the lower on the ladder you go, the higher the attitude.
They don't be talking to me.
They don't be talking to you, and that's, well, there you go. They walk around like strutting cocks, these little guys over there, the little people at Power, or the midline people, like cocks of the walk over there, and Bo and DJ Laz and Mark Mosley and all the other big name people are very, very cool with us. I wrote that open out for Mark Mosley to do. I thought he was just going to do it dry. He didn't have to do anything for that, and he made a big production out of it. You know, mighty white of the man. I was very, very touched by the fact that he did that. But we have other people at Power, and this is a new experience for me, the FM snobbery thing, because over at the wonderful Isle, when we worked at Cox, we had two sister FM stations, but since the AM, which was an aberration, we all knew that, since the AM, generally speaking, got better numbers than either one of those two stations, there was not the disrespect, the redheaded stepchild treatment that seems to go on over here. And I'm pretty slow. I'm pretty oblivious, and I'll admit I'm still pretty much a bumpkin and a yokel. I mean, I've been like 12, 13 years back in this town, living in the city, and I still... You know, when people come up to me and say something and they make it sound really nice, I kind of believe it. So we have this intern, and here's what's going on. What is he talking about? What are you talking about, George? We have this intern, and we've had several interns, and everyone has an army of interns at WQAM and at Power 96. There's a swarms of these teenagers and early 20s people running around working for free for every department, you name it. For some reason... and maybe because I actually expect them to do some work, I can't seem to keep an intern for the Neil Rogers show. And I've trained 4 or 5, and as soon as they get to the point where they can do something on their own, unsupervised, they go away somewhere. They get a job offer, they leave the state, whatever. I don't know. Victor, the former magazine man, those of us who've been with us for years, remember that Victor the magazine man used to bring magazines into us. And he comes in for a visit. He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina now, brings his new wife, his new baby, very cute, blah, blah, blah. Hey, George, I've got a niece getting ready to graduate college, wants to become an intern, wants to get into the broadcasting business. Great. I need help. I didn't ask what she looked like. I didn't care what she looked like. I just needed some help. I told her yes. I told him, yes, have her call. She can come in and work. Sight unseen, I don't care. Called on the phone, sight unseen. Come on in, you're the intern. Just as long as you can do the stuff, you're hired. So in walks Shannon, and as Joe Castello will attest, Shannon is attractive.
She's a hottie.
Now, it's irrelevant. I mean, great. We all like attractive women running around. That's very understandable. We all like that. Shannon comes in, trainer. She's been doing work for weeks. She does great work when she shows up, does work for weeks. Gave her a tour, a tour of the upstairs, introduced her to everybody, because when you have an intern and you're not paying them, you try to make it up to them as many ways as you can by giving them freebies. Freebies, free tickets, a tour of the station. She wanted to watch DJ Laz scratch and mix, and hooked her up with that. Whatever. Well, anyway, bar none. Every red-blooded male in this building is obsessed with Shannon. Bar none. That's all they're doing. I might as well post her schedule. I should just post her schedule so that I can get through the upstairs, a lot easier, because that's all I hear. One Shannon coming in, one Shannon coming in, one Shannon coming in, from everybody. People I didn't know were straight are asking me, when's Shannon coming in, when's Shannon coming in? And that goes for the power people also, the ones that met her. And now we have this one power person, Holiday. Yes, I'm naming you Holiday. He's the Josh Friedman of Power 96. He's the most made fun of. You're shaking your head. I know he does a lot of work and he does a lot of help for QAM. Okay.
I love Holiday.
Let's go on the record. Joe Castello loves Holiday. I don't hate the man. And like you said, a sexual jackal such as myself should understand where this man is coming from, and I do. I totally do. But so here's the story. Everybody sees Shannon now. They want her. They want her around constantly, as is the case with most attractive women. And he tells me this, oh, hey, let's, bring Shannon up. We'll talk to her about making her a production assistant or something like that, yada, yada, yada. And I'm all for that, because once again, when you don't pay an intern, you want to help them out any way that you can. And so certainly, and that's the whole idea why someone becomes an intern, because when a position does break, then you want to, they want to take advantage of that. So anyway, makes it sound like there's an opening. Bottom line, makes it sound like there's an opening. Bring her up here. We'll get her in here. We'll get her on the payroll. This is a very desirable proposition because, as we all know, at QAM, there are people that have been interns here for years and are still not on the payroll. So I know what that's like. Good luck waiting for an opening at QAM.
See, all you have to be is a hot chick, and you've got to be.
And you got the red carpet treatment in life everywhere you go. That's it. So anyway, I talked to her, and whatever. She's like, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. She's got a regular day job. She's doing all right. So I say, okay, she's marginally interested. I go up. The real person that we needed to talk to was Tony the Tiger, because he's the one that's actually going to, he's right under Kid Curry. Tony the Tiger, great guy. Kid Curry, great guy. Very nice people. No snobbery towards me at all. I talked to Tony the Tiger, and Tony says, what the is Holiday talking about? We don't have any openings. He's full of shit. And I go, okay, I see. It all came together. Finally, my bumpkin brain figured it all out. It all comes in together. He was trying to take our intern away as a shared resource kind of thing. There was no opening or anything like that. And so I confronted him later. He goes, hey, what about Shannon? Are you going to bring her up or what? And I said, I talked to Tony, and Tony said, you're full of shit. And he goes, whoa, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And he's backpedaling. I didn't say there was any opening. And I go, like how you didn't? You made it sound like there's, like you could do something that QAM couldn't, basically. No. She does a little work for you. She does a little work for us, blah, blah. Yeah, right. And I'm thinking, how could I be so stupid? I'm a trusting man. I trust people. I take people at face value, and I'm an idiot for doing so, especially in this town. Chris Reed, you saw Shannon. They're trying to take her away up at Power. They think that all they have to do is flex their FM muscle, and the intern is going to run away up there and never look back. All they have to do is unbutton the top button on their FM shirt, and she's going to be all dazzled and run away, because we're the AM. And all of a sudden, all these other little things started to add up. That got my brain going, and I realized all these little things, I noticed
all of these things
started to come through with the attitude from some of the middle level and lower level people, including interns at Power 96, as in, y'all are just the AM station. Y'all are just that AM sports and talk station. You don't get big numbers. You don't get big crowds at your events, which we do. At least on this show we do. And that's a new thing for me, Because over at the other place, when an AM person, when we were at the aisle, when an AM person walked into a room full of the FM people took their hats off because we got better ratings than them. Hot and Coast. We got better ratings than them. But over here, even though this show kicks their ass, it doesn't translate. At least, it's like out of sight, out of mind. Like the underlings up there, they don't appreciate the gravity of this show, and they don't really care. That's the sports station. So I'm just kind of peeved by that because as a Bible reading man, and I guess Holiday never read that 11th commandment that says thou shalt not covet your coworker's intern. That'll surely send you to hell. Keep your hands, and again, I wouldn't care if she had a beard, if she was fat, I wouldn't care if she had been deformed in a horrible accident. She does work when she shows up, and so far she's the only intern that I've been able to keep around past the training period. Everyone else has flown away. Maybe because I expect them to work, and she doesn't mind. She actually does work. She sits here and works. And then when she is here, everybody's like, where's Shannon? Where's Shannon? She's downstairs working, asshole, because that's what, we brought her in here for, and so that she could learn how to use all this fancy equipment that we have in our studios and do some stuff since I can't get any help from anybody. Speaking of not getting any help from anybody, I love being my own producer. Not. I feel like, you ever see The Flash playing tennis with himself, zipping back and forth from one room to the other? That sounds like a shot. That's just a. Now, I'm not blaming you because you wear many, many hats in this place right now. And I know that people don't want you down here at all.
Oh, yeah.
So coming down as early as you do is an accomplishment anyway. But it's like, that makes me highly, highly uncomfortable when I'm down here all by myself and there are
all of these things
that have to be done before the show, and I'm wondering if they're going to get done in time. There's just a little bit of discomfort because I don't have the kind of callous confidence that other people do that sit in this chair. You know what I mean? Not to mention the fact that when somebody else is sitting in this chair, the person in that room is here, from 8 o'clock, 8:15. So there's a shot. That's a little bit of a shot there, a little shtuch for Joe C., joke-ass Tello. 10:11 on 560 WQAM.
If you want a big, big fat mattress to stick all your money under, that's a good idea. Neil says, stick it under the mattress and the money too. And if you want to get a great name brand mattress, the only intelligent way to buy it is to pick up the phone, sit right where you are. Don't make a move except to reach for the phone and call Dial a Mattress. I did it 2 years ago and I've been happy every night since because I sleep in real comfort. The best mattress I've ever slept on in my life. Just call 1-800-MATTRES. In a couple hours, they'll be there knocking on the door whenever it's convenient for you. They'll deliver it the very same day you call. They got the best selection of fine mattresses in the world. All the top names, Sealy Posturepedic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Certa Perfect Sleeper. Once you talk to the bedding experts there and pick out the one that's exactly right for you, they deliver it to your home, they take away the old bedding, and all deliveries on approval. If you aren't 100% satisfied with the new mattress, the driver takes it back with no questions asked, and they deliver from Key West to Gainesville and every place in between. So it's the only intelligent way to buy that great mattress. So if it's time to throw the old lumpy mattress out, pick up the phone and call 1-800-MATTRES right now. You'll be sleeping in serious comfort tonight. 1-800-MATTRES.
It gets me fired up when I hear someone say that.
Mr. Richard Smoker, you're a poopy poker. Chardonnay and cocaine in the spot. Cigarettes and coffee bread. Little boys on crystal meth. Night will tango in the street. You eat star green. Mr. Richard Smoker, you're a chicken choker. Tonight you're gonna let it all hang out. Pantyhose and document, smoking menthol cigarettes. Night will tango in the street. You eat star green. Billy Babu, Billy Babu, Billy Babu. Mr. Richard Smoker, you're an Ono yoker. Cognac and black coffee with the boys. Dancing in your Buster Brown, whirling to the techno sound. Your hands are wet, your hair is slick. You smoke big. Mr. Richard Smoker, you're a velvet coker. Thirsty Jeff will pick you up at 10. Going out, dancing city, Friday night, gotta look pretty. Night will tango in the street. You eat Stargate, Billy Babu, Billy Babu, Billy Babu.
Oh, I guess that's it. That's my favorite bit that I don't understand. That must be a local thing or something. I just like it. And it says Richard Smoker. That leads into the 60 Minutes thing, and I played the other 60 Minutes thing earlier, because if you saw it last night, they were doing the tobacco stuff. Oh, by the way, 10:17, as if anybody cares. And Robert Grieper sets the clocks by the atomic clock, he says. He's the one. You've never done that, have you? You're fired.
What are you talking about?
I was talking like radio stations don't have the correct time, and they usually don't. But Grieper piped up on Friday and said, "Oh no, I set our clocks by the atomic clock, like every day, every 5 minutes, something like that."
That's a lie.
Okay, I'll tell him you said so. So they had the smoking thing on 60 Minutes last night, and here we go once again, and they show the guy behind the truth thing, and I was hoping they'd give a phone number out. I guess I'm going to have to go online at that website, that they give the phone number, because I want to get a whole bunch of people, and preferably while we're smoking, and call up the truth kids and say, "Hey, don't you people have a life? Can't you people think of something better to do than to call people that have nothing to do with what you're talking about and bug them like the movie industry?" What a bunch of lifeless losers these truth people are. Now, I do like the other ads, the one with the Academy Awards thing, and the one where you think it's a movie preview but it's not, or the one where they have the lady taking her teeth out, or is that one for crack? I get them all mixed up. Whatever it is, the one where that starts out with a beautiful babe, and slowly but surely she like takes her teeth out, and she takes the makeup off and takes her fake hair off, and she looks like a skank.
Have not seen it.
Haven't?
It's probably for
It's
crack.
either for smoking or smoking crack or something like that. But the other one, the Academy Award one and the fake movie preview one. Take your CD and get out of here already, Chris. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I like those spots because that's as it should be. When you want to put a point across, put it away at a clever thing. Don't go crank calling people. I mean, those of us who answer the phones for a living as part of our job really hate busybodies that do that kind of crap. Like how would you react if those kids called you while you're sitting there with the little headset on, called you, and, "Oh, what do you people because, for example, Nick Cigar is one of our sponsors, and I have a Nick cigar in my hand, which I'm going to light up. Hey, how about right now? Just for the sake of the conversation. There we go. Those of us who use tobacco products do so very conscious of the fact that we will get cancerous tumors from them. We know we're going to get cancerous tumors, and we don't care. Okay? It's bottom line. We don't care. There have been anti-smoking ads since time immemorial. And it seems like the anti-smoking people, and I guess their hearts are in the right place. Maybe they have loved ones that have died from lung cancer or something like that. I don't know. But they took all the ads off of the TV, and that wasn't enough. People still smoked. So they lobbied to get warning labels put on the cigarette packets. So the warning labels are on the cigarette packets. The warning labels say quite clearly, these things will kill you. Nobody's slowing down. Everybody's still smoking. They attack the Joe Camel thing because they say that that's a cartoon character and it appeals to kids and it gets kids smoking. I'm glad that there are pitfalls in the game of life. Ever play the game of life when you were a little kid? You would just spin the thing, and the object is to finish with more money than any of the other schmoes. Well, that's the game of life, except in real life, not only do you want to finish with more money, but you want to live longer. Hopefully the people that you're competing against, which is everyone, will die before you so that you can go, ha, 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 I won, you lost. Oh, speaking of dying before me, and I'm not going to laugh at this, but Gene Siskel, I liked him way better than Roger Ebert. What's Roger Ebert going to do now? Because people used to tolerate him because of Gene. Because everybody liked Gene, you used to tolerate little fat, whiny Roger Ebert. Gene had excellent taste in movies, by the way. And I think it's ironic that when Roger was talking about, Matt Lauer asked him, give me a fond memory of Gene. He brought up when we saw Fargo together, Gene said, "This is why I go to the movies," which was good. And it turns out it wasn't true after all, which is kind of depressing. So anyway, he's dead, but that's the whole idea of the game of life, is to outlive the other guy. And everyone who engages in self-destructive behavior is going to kill themselves, and I say, oh, go for it. Die before me, please. That's the nature of the game. And I'm engaging in self-destructive behavior. I engage in a variety of self-destructive practices. I drink. I use tobacco products. Every once in a while, and it's my choice. And the anti-tobacco people, $200 billion settlement, by the way, and now the federal government wants a chunk of that after the states did all the work. That's in the paper this morning. Stay out of it, federal government. The states earn that money. They gouge the tobacco manufacturers themselves. They deserve it, and good luck to them. But I have an idea. I wouldn't care if they, by the way, I wouldn't care if they made Joe Camel a cartoon character on Saturday morning cartoons. And in every episode, he saved the day with magic smoke, like Popeye would with his spinach. Joe Camel gets into a jam. Quick, he pulls out a camel, shoves it in his mouth, sets fire to it, and blows smoke on the bad guys, and saves the day with magic smoke. I wouldn't care, because you know what? My daughter knows that tobacco is poison. And my daughter knows that everything that is on TV is a lie, because that's one of the first TV lessons that I told her. I said, see this piece of glass over here, honey? See this piece of glass? That's the window to fantasy world. The things that are on that side of the glass are fake, not real. You leave the things on that side of the glass on that side of the glass. As soon as you let them cross over, you become a crazy person. And the advertisements are all lies. And the shows are all lies. They're all unreal. Even the news, half the time, you can't believe. That's lesson number one. Tobacco is poison. All of these things are poison. The sugar is poison. All they want is your money. They don't care if you die. And that's lesson number one. So let them advertise however they want. And as far as the warning labels on these cigarette packets goes, I want to market a brand of tobacco of cigarettes called Killers. And I want it to be in a black pack with a skull and crossbones on it, and the warning label will be the entire other side, really big. It'll say, these things will kill you. Really big, in big red letters, and neon, in 3D holographic, a holo card. Maybe a little scratch and sniff that's with the stench of death. Maybe it'll play a recording of a guy coughing his lungs up, coughing bloody chunks of lung up. And you know what? It wouldn't matter. People would still buy them. Everyone knows that tobacco is poison and it will kill you, and no one cares. No one cares. Do they? The smokers, do you know a smoker that doesn't know that it's poison and he's going to get emphysema and tumors and lose lungs and die young from smoking? They all know that. We don't care. Caffeine is bad for us. I pumped it into my veins this morning by the gallons. Sugar is bad. I was eating chocolate this morning. Driving in Dade and Broward County is really, really dangerous, but I did that this morning also. Life is full of pitfalls. What's with these busybodies? I'm sorry, I'm stuttering now. I'm getting so hysterical. What's with these busybodies that are trying to save my life? Thank you. I appreciate it. Now go away and stop bugging me. Get some dancing beer bear commercials back on the TV, for crying out loud, instead of these really, really stupid, insipid kids. I like the Academy Award one and the fake movie preview. That had me going, because the first time I saw that was at a theater with the previews, and I thought it was a movie preview, and oh, it's a tobacco ad. Very clever, got me, very effective. But the kids are on the speakerphone. Why do you promote cigarettes in your movies? I'm an actress and I don't smoke. Well, then you're not going to get a job, bitch. It's as simple as that. If you can't fake smoke, you're not going to get a job. Get the hell out of here. Get off my casting couch. So anyway, I'm done, I guess. Now it's time for people to respond. To 1026 on QAM.
Where do you find Dave Heffernan and Gene Thomas? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Sports Tag Radio WQAM. Another bit.
Seneca Films proudly presents The History of Smoking. The practice of smoking began during the Stone Age, when cavemen would stick their heads into active volcanoes after having sex.
What's a hit?
Nothing. Over the years, man attempted to smoke a variety of substances. Dirt, feathers, bananas.
Oh, wow, colors.
It was not until colonial times that American Indians introduced the perfect smoking material, tobacco.
You have Sir Walter Raleigh in can? He tried to steak.
Today, we know all too well that smoking is dangerous.
Hey, buddy, got a cigarette? No, just this good. Now, give me your one.
Yet, from active volcanoes to tobacco. For you, the smoker, smoking will always be the end.
1030 and 560 WQAM 5670-560 in Dade or Broward, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I started to say it right, and I was right. Pound 560 on the mobile one line. One open line in Dade, one open line in Broward. Fort Lauderdale, hello. Fort Lauderdale. This guy's been holding since the beginning of the show, so it's going to be a crank.
Yeah, why don't you play tape?
Yeah, why don't you play tape? See what I said? Why don't you get a life? Miami, hello.
Hey, George, how's it going? Good show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a non-smoker myself, and I agree with your point that what people put in their body is their own business.
They're going to do it no matter what.
Yeah, what I think is most people
you don't smoke, but I'll bet you have some other things that you do that probably aren't the healthiest thing in the world.
Oh,
I don't know anybody that leads
junk food, man. Junk food, that's my thing.
There you go. And you know what? You know what? It was food that killed a close friend of mine, not drugs or tobacco or anything like that. Food.
Hey, John Candy and the other guy, look at them.
Right.
So, yeah, I know where I'm going.
So let's make sugar illegal.
I think that's on the next referendum, actually.
Okay.
We check with the Republicans on that one. What I think most people object to, actually, when they smoke, or have someone who smokes around them, is basically the smell. Most of the people I've heard, they're not too worried about...
And mind you, by the way, I'm a very conscientious cigar smoker. I don't smoke around people who it's going to bother unless it's like my house. My house, the kid's out of the room, I'm going to smoke a cigar, okay? Bottom line, because guess what? I bought it. It's mine.
That's right. Most people, they think it's like when someone walks around with them, like, what dye? You know, it's like somebody who walks around cutting cheese in front of people.
And I try to be sensitive everywhere that I go about the smoking thing, and I think it's rude for the smokers that are unsensitive.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing when you come out of having a nice lunch and then somebody walks by and you don't smoke, and then you get that in your face, and there went lunch right down the tube. You know. So I think that's the main reason people object to it. It's not so much for the health. I mean, people, like you said, are doing constantly bad things from it, but just the fact that some of the stuff some people smoke is like something died, and then you have to put up with it.
These ads that you're seeing, they're not about, hey, be a considerate smoker, hey, get it out of my face. It's, don't do it, or don't promote it, or don't advertise it, or,
Well, they're bringing back prohibition, You won't be able to get drunk pretty soon either again, so... everything's coming back now. You saw all the stuff on TV for the 60s.
There already is prohibition
in
certain areas. You got to get into the deep south for that. But I don't know if you're aware of that. There are a lot of dry cities, dry counties, things like that.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. I'm a health nut myself, and I like to take vitamins and use other herbs and such. And in certain states, you can't even get some of the popular herbs anymore.
Wow.
I don't know if you heard about the big Mahuang scare that they had over here.
Mm-hmm.
They had that, and in Texas, and now you can't even buy the one thing that actually does help you burn fat. You have to get it like in an herbal formula in certain states. They repealed it finally over here, but this is the one thing that's healthy for you to help you lose fat. But the companies that promote stuff like the Fen and Redo that ended up killing a bunch of people, that's still from our friendly government folks over there saying, use this. And from what I understand, they knew that there was some health risks before they ever approved the drug, and after they made their money, they got out of the business. But there we go, our friendly government helping us out again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Take it easy.
26 till 11 on 560 WQAM. Hi, Leah. Hello. Hi, Jalea.
George.
Yeah.
¿Cómo está usted?
Aquí bien.
Hey, what's this topic about the
Whatever you want, man.
Oh, the cigarettes. Hey, this is my philosophy of life. You only live once, and once you die, you can't take it with you. So smile and take a picture.
Okay.
If you like to smoke cigarettes and it's bad for you, what the hell? You only live once. You can't take it with you when you die. And no matter what you do, nobody's gonna stop smoking. No matter what you say.
No matter what.
No, it can say in the pack, surgeon generals can say whatever, but there's still women that are pregnant that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
There's
oh yeah.
My grandfather, he's sick. He was told about 5 years ago to stop smoking, but he's been smoking for so many years that if he doesn't smoke, he's very irritable. That you can't be around him within 5 feet. So what the paramedics told me one day is, look, he's already old. This is what's killing him. Let him enjoy it until the last day.
It's gonna kill him, and that's his choice.
And the cigarettes, I smoke cigarettes. I smoke a little bit of pot. I drink a lot of coffee, and I love it.
All right.
That's the only way to live life.
There you go.
Hey George, have a good one. Oh, hey, viejo.
He'll be back in a week.
All right.
All right.
Hey George, I like your show, and keep it up with those sound effects, man. You sound like Neil.
Thank you.
Later on.
I don't know if that's a compliment or what. I'm not sure. I was watching a stand-up comic talk about smoking. I forget who it was, but I like to credit people when I rip off their material, but I can't. But just so you know, it's not my own material. They say that smoking takes 10 years off your life. And what this guy said was, Yeah, but it's the last 10 years. What are you missing there? You know, crapping in your pants? Running down your leg? What are you missing in the last 10 years of your life? A lot of drool? No memory? Can't walk around? Can't chase pussy? What's the point? So, you know, I'll trade 10 years off the end of my life for some pleasure right now. Fair trade, my choice. Leave me alone about it. 5670560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line, 24 till 11 on 560 WQAM.
Where do you find Hank Goldberg? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is pretty up right here.
Restaurants and other public areas have banned smoking in most states, levying fines on those who will not obey these repressive laws designed to protect them from themselves. But the fight against lung cancer and secondhand smoke isn't working. In fact, with each new law passed, smoking in this country increases by 70%. The United League for a Smoke-Free America has the solution. We call it the Final Solution. We're a nonprofit organization of bitter ex-smokers dedicated to making the lives of smokers miserable because we miss it so damn much. Our leader, Martin Borman Jr., proposes smoker camps, where smokers will be taken by train and forced into community showers, where they will be doused with canisters of Chesterfield Zygon number 8. And, well, you know the rest. Give your support to the United League for a Smoke-Free America. Unless, of course, you smoke pot. Of course, we do. That's okay.
19 till 11 on 560 WQAM. 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560. 305 in front of that, of course. 2 open lines in Broward, 5670560. And pound 560 on the Mobile One line. I totally forgot that bit was in there, as a matter of fact, just to show you how long this whole thing has been going on, of people trying to stop other people from doing something that they are very aware is going to kill them. And the lawsuits, first they sued the smokers because of tobacco. Now the states are suing the gun manufacturers because of the guns. I got a paper cut the other day. I'm going to sue the St. Regis Corporation, the makers of fine paper products, for my paper cut. Are we going to sue the auto manufacturers for automobile accidents now? Are we going to sue the knife manufacturers? You know, I dropped a knife. I bought some nice Hofritz cutlery for my wife for Christmas, and I dropped the biggest knife. And here we are standing in the kitchen barefoot. You ever do the I drop the knife dance in the kitchen while you're standing there barefoot? Leaping into the air. Everybody in the kitchen leaping into the air as the knife goes bouncing across the kitchen floor, and the big butcher knife too, the toe chopping knife, and it's bouncing and it's razor sharp. It's brand new. It's only been used like half of once, and it's bouncing through the air. If I had cut my toe off because I'm an idiot and I dropped a knife on my toe, could I have sued Hofritz because I dropped a knife? Can we sue? I know what. I'm gonna go get liposuction because I'm fat. I'm not really, but you know. If I did get fat, could I sue the sugar manufacturers for making me fat and make them pay for my liposuction? Could I do that? What's the difference? It's all this, and I don't know if anybody ever saw the John Stossel thing, that the Blame Game. There was a special show called The Blame Game where it was all of these things that people were not accepting responsibility for, and they had one guy on there that had fallen off of a ladder because he put his ladder on some frozen manure. And the manure thawed while he was on the ladder, and he fell and injured himself. He sued the ladder manufacturer and won. They were interviewing the ladder manufacturer. The ladder had warning labels. You couldn't even see the wood. It was just a collage of warning labels with such warnings as, please don't put this ladder on frozen manure. The manure could thaw out and you could fall and break your neck. How idiotic are we getting where no one wants to accept responsibility for their own actions and everything is a lawsuit? It's not my fault. It's not my fault I smoke. I saw an ad. They hooked me when I was a teenager because I saw an ad. No one wants to accept the fact that you're an idiot. You're smoking or not. You know, we're not idiots, those of us who smoke. We know very well that it will kill us or that something that we do will kill us. And we don't care. So shut up and leave us alone already. Lady in Miami Beach, hello.
Yeah, that's great. Me too. I don't exercise. And
okay.
I don't want to live forever. You're 100% right. It's
well,
very
I'd love
profound.
to live forever, but you know what? We're not
it's
gonna.
Disgusting. I don't want to drool like you said. You know, they're prolonging life. What for? I don't know. But the reason I called something very charming, the bus happened. I was about down third in the bus, and all of a sudden I hear the lilting tones of Monica's vagina. Or I don't hear very well, so I'm not, hearing it better than anyone else. And the whole thing, and it was very pronounced, and the whole thing played. I can't forget the song now, So I went up to the bus driver. He was an elderly black man, and he.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good. I guess so. It was a good idea. Very good idea. And he was laughing,
Right.
I said, they don't hear it, do they? And he says, no. I said, no, they don't know that you take our lives in your hand because some crazy person almost hit us, and that we're in your hands. They don't respect you, and so forth. But he loves Neil's show, and I do too. And you're doing real great, and it's a great show. But they didn't hear it. They didn't. They're all sitting there like dead, dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That must be for you.
Pardon?
Okay, so answer that.
Yeah, I will. And bless you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Wow. It's not even 11 o'clock. Speaking of substance abuse, what substance was she abusing? Great call, man. Thank you very much. Mobile and Coral Gables. Hello. Mobile. Gables.
Hello, yeah. George?
Yeah. Yes.
Hi. I agree with you 100% of people being responsible for their own actions. But isn't it true that a lot of these smokers, and I'm not a smoker, and I'm not trying to be biased, but all these...
Be whatever you want to be, sir.
Yeah, right. Well, all these smokers that are in the cancer ward today who are suffering because of an action that they did, am I correct in saying that a lot of their bills are being paid or subsidized through the state to keep them alive, and this was an action that they wanted to take on themselves and do it themselves?
Yeah, and that's totally wrong, and that's something that I hope that, if they're going to spend the $200 billion, 200 with a B billion, I hope that that's what they do with some of that money, is put it towards taking care of those people, since I don't want to.
But yeah, that's my whole point. I mean, these people are saying, oh, well, I can do what I want, and I want to smoke. If I can smoke, I can smoke. Nobody can tell me what to do. But then all of a sudden they get sick, and they're coming running to me
you're absolutely
and asking
right.
for me to pay their bill.
No one should have to pay the bill for those people. You engage in self-destructive behavior, you reap what you sow, including all the bills.
Well, I think behind the scenes, that's the real issue, and I think that's the insurance companies are probably behind this whole thing, this pushing this anti-cigarette smoking.
Well, already they have plans. They have non-smokers insurance plans. Some companies won't insure you if you're a smoker. I mean, that's every form I get filled out.
That's for life insurance. I'm talking about health insurance.
No, that's for health insurance too.
Oh, really?
On every form I've ever seen.
Well, that's something I'll just leave the rest of the callers to discuss that one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And of course, what's stopping you from saying no? Like I smoke cigars, I don't inhale. I'm not going to get lung cancer. I'm going to get tongue cancer or lip cancer or gum cancer, one of those things. So, are you a smoker? I'm like, it depends on how I feel, whether or not I check that. So that's already going on with the insurance company things. I'm sure there's got to be smokers insurance out there where they'll pay for your stuff. But that's a good point. We shouldn't have to pay for other people's cancers or tumors or anything like that. Kendall, hello.
Hi there, Brother Mike Lance here.
Yeah. Mobile implantation, hello. That was Blind Mike, the fake Blind Mike, I think, because I don't think the real one would be calling. Hello, mobile implantation.
Yeah, hi, George. How you doing?
Hi there. No more calls after this one, by the way. I'm going to play some reggae when the calls run out. That'll get these people going. Go ahead, sir.
Well, George, this thing with all these suits, these juries, I think, are crazy for awarding money for a guy whose ladder slips and spilling coffee in the lap. I just don't understand. I realize people don't take responsibility for their own actions, but the juries don't give them this world away.
Okay, thank you very much. Good point, but your phone's breaking up, sir. 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line, wide open. It's Monday, and it's a beautiful day. I think people are skipping out. What a weekend. I got some sun. I sat around and got some sun. I actually managed to accomplish. But what are you watching, Joe? What are you watching with your tongue hanging out? Because I was on CNN because, what an exercise that is.
Yeah.
I'm breaking out in sweat just watching it. On ESPN too. Is this body shaping that we're watching over here? Is that Paige? Is that Paige that's bending backwards?
Paige.
Bending backwards over the ball, and now there's
and there's Jennifer.
I love the back stretching, the bending over backwards, over a ball or not, is a great exercise. So now you totally blew my. You can't make facial expressions anymore from now on, Joe. If you see something hot on TV, you just have to look all stern. You can't make facial expressions because I totally lost my train of thought. So I got this reggae thing that I'm going to bore the audience with, and you took one of these things home and you didn't listen to it, and that's too bad because there's actually some good stuff on here. I might play it later, I might not, depending on if the calls run out. Oh yeah, the weather Monday. That's what I was talking about. Beautiful weekend. Perfect temperature. The right temperature where you could sit in the sun and not feel hot. The breezes were cool and the sun was warm, which was perfect. And people in Florida are pussies about the cold. And I'm not Mr. Anti-cold man. When I lived up north, I was among the first to say, "Hey, it's cold, let's go back inside," that kind of thing. But down here, it's ridiculous. If the weather drops below 60, everybody's freaking out. Everybody's starting a fire in the middle of their living room, freaking out when the temperature drops below 60. What's going on? It's going to be too cold for you to sit in the sun. Too cold to sit in the sun in Florida. As if there could be such a thing. And it was great. It was perfect. And it made me feel less bad about the fact that my yard got slashed. You weren't listening Friday when I talked about the fact that the landscapers butchered my yard. Which I can accept most of it because most of it will grow back, but not the fat lower branches on my very big broad.
You have landscapers?
Not anymore. Here's the story. I wanted to do it myself. The wife said, no, let some professionals do it because you'll screw it up. And I agreed with that because I've never, trimmed a whole yard before, especially a tropical one. I mean, I've cut down trees for firewood with a chainsaw. That's hardly the same thing as grooming and pruning and landscaping your yard. So she said, let a professional do it the first time so that you can see how it's done right. And then later on, if you want to go buy the power tools on the end of a stick, you can go do that. So I said, fine. $400 later, my backyard looks like
$400?
$400 later, my backyard looks like I don't know what to call it.
Next time you call me, I'll do your backyard.
Yeah? Oh, man. And again, most of it will grow back. The ferns, the Thai plants, they'll all grow back fast, no problem. But the huge grapefruit tree that I was going to hang a swing from some of the lower branches for the kid, one of those ball on a swing. She could swing on it, she could punch it, climb up it, whatever. The lower branches are all gone. They trimmed off all the lower branches, so there's this big trunk with a tuft on top. And that's it. It's just like way up there. You can't climb it, can't do anything with it. Had a wonderful divider between my house and the back of the neighbor's shed next door and everything. Now it's like I get to look at the rusty back of the shed. I don't know if, those lower branches are never going to grow back. You don't just get offshoots growing from those, because you can see where the previous trunks were cut on other days, even lower down on the tree. And of course it doesn't grow back. So I'm kind of upset about that. But anyway, over the weekend, very nice to sit out on the dock. That's what Florida's all about. Watch the boats go by and get some sun while smoking a cigar out on the deck chairs. And that was a wonderful thing. And I put another layer on my tan because I'm tired of Neil talking about how pasty white I am. So now it's just my ass that's pasty white. I'm getting going, getting the bronze look back again so that I can actually take my shirt off at the beach and not blind anybody. I was the pastiest man in Florida. No excuse for that now that I've got the nice sun tanning backyard. And again, perfect temperature, and today is another day like that. I really don't want to be here today. It's beautiful outside.
If you get skin cancer from tanning in the sun,
I'm going to. Can I sue God? I'm going to sue God because he gave me cancer, because he created my DNA, and he created the sunlight, and he's the one that invented the physics that makes ultraviolet radiation mutate my skin cells. So I'm going to sue God for giving me these tumors and these moles that I have growing out of me right now. Miami, hello.
I agree. You'll get a couple of $1 trillion there, brother.
Yeah?
Hey.
I think God's got some bucks. He's been collecting money from the human race for so long. I think he's probably got a good stash going.
Hey, listen, I have to agree with you. First of all, it's a gorgeous day. I mean, and you're right. When it gets to like 60, like today, I work with the county. I wear shorts. I wore shorts this morning.
A busload of French Canadians couldn't ruin today for me.
And then everybody's going, "Oh, you must be freezing." I said, "No, I complain about the heat all year round. It's about time we get some cool weather. It's not cold. It's cool. It's absolutely gorgeous." And accountability, George. That's what it's all about, man. People try to shift the blame. They don't want to accept that they basically made their own bed. Everybody wants to blame somebody else instead of themselves. And I see it all around. Who are we going to start? Are we going to start suing the car manufacturers for auto accidents?
That's what I just said.
It's at a point where it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
And after one is finished, they're going to start something new. If you've noticed, it's a trend that's non-ending.
Right.
It's tobacco, like a cigarettes, tobacco. They just did. Now it's guns. Now it's either guns don't kill, but it's people that kill the people.
Right.
You know, if guns were completely outlawed, you know what? They'd get knives, baseball bats, whatever.
Yeah, I got a clue. There's been murder going on long before there were guns.
Exactly, but you know what? It's convenient. It's convenient to say, well, you know, this is the cause. Where it's really not, because people are just going to find something else to kill you with.
You know it.
And if I'm going to get killed, I'd rather be shot in the head than stabbed, you know, and bleed to death.
Yeah, please don't bludgeon me with a baseball bat.
Exactly.
Bullet would be better.
So people are just getting a little, you know, out of hand, and I agree. You know, just getting out of bed every day is
nobody's fault.
Yeah, you know, it's the people that kill people. The gun doesn't, you know, it doesn't kill.
Right.
It's the person that picks it up and shoots the other person. So, you know, it's basically, you know, it's a scapegoat.
It is a scapegoat.
Let's just sue. It's like if there's a sign and somebody that says "slippery when wet." Why? It's stupid enough to slip on the ground. They're going to sue.
Well, that's very nice that they warned us it's slippery when wet. That's a little bit different because, you know, that's a warning. Hey, the floor is wet.
But you know what? If you slip, you still can sue.
Sure. Even
so
if it's not there. I know.
It's crazy, and it's driving me bananas. I see this, and I shake my head, and I say, when is the insanity going to end? Because basically, life is one big crapshoot. Sooner or later, you're going to kick the bucket, and you know what? What good is it to go through life and not enjoy it if you're going to live a long life but a miserable, boring life? What's the sense?
I know people that live the straight and narrow and everything, and I'll tell you, I smile a lot more than they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also,
yes,
it's like, you know, the promiscuous lifestyle. Hey, we know AIDS is out there. You know, you basically put the chances in your favor.
You protect yourself against it, or you roll the dice.
Exactly right. And then, you know, I said, people, you know, I go to Plato's and do some swinging, and it's like, oh God, you do that. It's like, hey, it's great. It's fun. Leave me alone and let me enjoy life.
Hey, are they still doing the Wednesday night pole dancing contest there?
They are doing the pole dance. They're still doing the pole dance.
All right, I got to talk to Herb. All right, thank you, sir.
All right, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Got a message from Herb on the voicemail at the end of last week. I tried to call him back, but he wasn't there from Plato's. So maybe we'll get something going, some sort of a freebie whore the show, so that a bunch of us can get over there and drink and eat for free. How's that sound, Joe C?
Sounds good to me.
Wednesday pole dancing contest. Let's go for that. 3 till 11 on 560 WQAM.
Where do you find Groove Shambi? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Suck it in and hold it.
Build cigars in Monica's vagina. She lets out a giggle when he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind. Well, he don't know where a stogie goes. I can see how there was some confusion between humidor and humid whore. And in Arkansas, the term cedar box means saw her naked. Stars report can lead to going blind. Now Clinton, he was working hard, late nights in the ovary office, working on a practical joke. He took a Macanudo, put an exploding load in, for Monica was blowing rings of smoke. Build cigars in Monica's vagina. She lets out a giggle every time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind. Oh, people feel that Hillary's been made a fool of by her husband. Feel that Hillary was wronged. Up in the Lincoln bedroom, she was moaning, moaning old bomb. Bill cigars in Monica's vagina. She lets out a giggle every friggin' time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind. Oh, Candy is dandy, yeah, Dutch master is faster. Oh, yeah. What you gotta do is take a Tipperillo and put it in a grill. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, now, a cigar and oh, yeah.
1104-560 WQAM, wide open, not a call on the board. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. And I'm not going to cry or beg or moan or scream and yell about the phone calls. We can do just fine, just me and Joe-Cast. We can just talk about whatever the hell we want to. We can talk about all day long, for all I care, and we can play reggae. Because I got this, and you didn't listen to it. I'm surprised. Dancehall Dynamite. And by the way, Tracy Neely, still shining me. I'd love to introduce the audience to all kinds of really great stuff, Tracy, but you haven't sent me a package in a long time. But the Flamingo Records people do every once in a while, and they send like a collection of reggae stuff, and I've been sitting on it for a long time because reggae, nothing wrong with reggae, but it just all sounds the same to me. Like once you have Bob Marley's greatest hits, what more do you need? All the rest of it pretty much sounds the same. So I stuck this in over the weekend and listened to it, and what do you know? There's actually some interesting stuff on here that sounds different. For example, Beanie Man. Yeah. Anybody named Beanie Man, you got to give it a listen.
And in a moment, we'll have a special...
Oh, wait. That's wrong.
Yes, I am!
There it is. This is Beanie Man. Sorry, folks. I'm still new at all this crap. All these buttons, all these pots. All this pot.
I'm on kitchen for sure, Eddie for A4. All I hear is DJ can't take me no more. Kitchen for sure, Eddie for A4. All I hear is DJ can't take me no more. Like to make the business, you act like you're blind.
Okay, hold on there, Beanie Man. People actually calling in. I have no idea why. Mobile in Palm Beach, hello.
How you doing?
That worked like a charm, man, playing the reggae. I'm going to keep this locked and loaded from now on.
Listen, I got to give you guys a lot of credit. I'm a visitor from Tampa, and every time I come over here, man, this is the only radio station I listen to. I got a question for you, though.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking about going to the hockey game on Wednesday night. I need to know where I need to be sitting to have a good view of the game, since I've never been there.
In a seat. I'm sorry to disappoint the guy, but we don't talk games other people play, sir. Hey, Tommy, did you have a touch-up? Did you redo the head?
Yeah, I bleached the top.
You missed some roots up in the front.
Yeah, well, yell at my girlfriend for that.
Okay, I will. Dawn, you missed some stuff on the front there, Dawn. You look, you look like Courtney Love.
Not that bad, is it?
1107-560 WQAM. Don't freak out, Joe. That's not a cue. Hollywood, hello.
Hey, something? I was listening to the Hank show last week,
and
this is the call that he received, and I just wanted your comment on this. Hey.
Okay, I don't discuss the Hank show. Mobile in South Miami, hello.
George, how you doing?
All right.
Hey, can I ask you a question? You made a comment the other day, I guess you were talking about, I'm a South Miami graduate, 77, I've called you before.
Uh-huh.
And you were talking about people, what were you in the 80s sometimes?
82, graduated.
Yeah. I guess things have changed in the late 70s, early 80s, because I don't remember anybody driving fancy cars when I went to high school.
Oh, man, it was such an elite fest while I was there.
Maybe it's just the involvement got into the 80s, or maybe some other more well-to-do people moved to that area, because when I went there in 74, 75, 76, and so on, you had a lot of maybe souped-up cars, but you didn't have a lot of, it wasn't like going to Columbus or Palmetto or Gulliver when you always
No, it was all Cuban cars, man. It was all 300 ZXs, a few older 280 ZXs, Trans Ams, things like that. No muscle cars. The Cubans.
Well, I drove by the other day to go to a hardware store, and that school seems to turn to be pretty punkish now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty freaky. It was pretty freaky.
Couldn't wish it on a better school.
Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
See ya.
1108-560 QAM. I got to keep saying that over and over again. They tell me to. North Miami Beach, hello.
George, how are you?
All right.
Last week you mentioned something about the legalizing drugs and drug use, or just
Friday? Last week?
Well, it's Monday, right? What the hell's today? Today's Monday.
Yeah.
I think you were filling in for Neil.
On Friday.
Friday. I apologize.
No problem.
And you mentioned that it really doesn't hurt anyone, and I agree 100%. And
what?
The use of drugs, it doesn't hurt the individual.
I didn't say that. It does hurt the individual, but it's like the smoking thing, like the drinking thing. It's your choice. It's going to hurt you.
Well, the problem, the one thing I have, and it was brought up by a pretty smart person I know, and I didn't really think about it till he brought it up, was that drugs do cost us money. It costs us all money, Medicaid and Medicare. If somebody goes broke from the use of drugs, eventually they end up on the public bill.
So why don't we make everything illegal that will eventually cause a medical problem and cause people to be broke?
I've got a better solution. If you decide to use drugs, you just forfeit your right to Medicaid and Medicare.
Which drug? Which ones are you going to limit it to? How about if you are a fat person?
We can debate that. But
how about if you're a fat person, you forfeit your right to Medicaid and Medicare? Because there are more health-related problems associated with fat than anything else you can name.
It's a good point, but I mean, driving could be illegal too because of the dangers of it.
Right.
But what I'm suggesting is we make a choice if we choose to use drugs.
Sure.
We have to drive and we have to eat.
Right.
So we should
but
do
you
that
don't have to overeat, and you don't have to eat crap.
But you can't
You could eat healthy. You could eat meat and veggies and not get fat.
You can't really go around making types of foods illegal. I mean,
why not? They make substances illegal. Alcohol is the most insidious substance there is.
I don't disagree with you. It took my father from me, so I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Okay,
but if you choose to abuse alcohol,
it's the thing. It's a pick your own poison. And how about? And see, that's the whole thing. You know, the insurance thing. Tailor the insurance to the individual. You know, if you smoke, you drink, then you pay a certain rate, and that should go for Medicaid and Medicare.
But I understand why politicians who are in charge of dividing our dollars and taxes and spending them on things like health care and child care and other things, while they would look at it, why they look at drug use and say, hey, you know, you're choosing to use drugs, you can't take it out of my tax dollars and out of my pocket.
Okay, so anyone who leads any kind of an unhealthy life is you don't get Medicaid or Medicare. If you're overweight, if you drink, if you smoke smoke anything, you don't get Medicaid and Medicare. How's that?
Probably impractical, but if that's what you want to
No, I'm just saying why.
No, I wouldn't agree that that's
a certain individual. In other words, only these unhealthy people don't get Medicare. These other unhealthy people will still pay for their unhealthy lifestyles.
Well, look at the tobacco settlement. What is that essentially?
That's hush money. That's the tobacco people saying. You know what the purpose of that settlement was, and they brought it up in 60 Minutes. They're shutting up all of these anti-tobacco ads. That was part of the settlement. We're going to give you $200 billion. You can't have any ads anymore that say that tobacco and tobacco companies are bad people. They sold out.
Of course, they're making $100 million a day.
$200 billion to buy the silence of these people.
Exactly. Take care, Judge.
You too. 1112 560 WQ.
Where do you find Jim Mandich? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Tengo mucho pellejo, pero no tengo punta.
And in a moment, we'll have a special report on the recurring problem of oil spills.
Geez, all these environmental disasters. It makes me kind of hungry.
Well then, let's go to Dead Lobster.
Introducing Dead Lobster, where you'll find the finest seafood to wash up on shore.
Welcome to Dead Lobster. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'll start with the leek soup, and then I'll have some crab dregs, and for my entree, I'd like the fillet of sole.
All righty. And you, ma'am? I'll have the clams on the half-shell oil and the blackened duck. Okay. Help yourself to our all-you-can-pump salad bars, and I'll be right back.
At Dead Lobster, we use only the refinest ingredients, and we change our oil every 3,000 meals.
And don't forget, Thursday night's our Oily Bird Special.
Yes, for food that floats upside down, there's only one place in town.
Dead Lobster, for that seafood covered with crude.
1116 on 560 WQAM, almost wide open board here, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Are you watching this current exercise, this current stretch?
We're abreast of
the spread-legged, on all fours, DePriest and Kathy. Did you see that Kathy has a tat? She has a tattoo on her ankle. You know what that means? Stripper. Well, or she has premarital sex. Yeah, I was going to say that too. That's stereotypical. But anymore, it's like everybody's getting them. You know, you just see all these tats everywhere. So it's I can't use that rule anymore.
The old stripper badge.
Only if it's a rose on the ankle is she guaranteed to be a stripper anymore. And I haven't seen what Kathy's is. But you know she has sex then if she's a tattooed girl. all tattooed girls are sluts. At least that's what we'd like to be. I'd like them to be. So wide open once again, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. One call and then it's back to Beanie Man, Miami Beach. Hello.
Yes. Do you know that now number one on the Retardo Billboard chart is Boca Brian?
Yeah. There's the Boca Brian guy, by the way, on the Retardo Billboard chart. What a lifeless hole. Here's a guy who listens to every minute of the show and calls up whenever we play, or even if we don't play a Boca Brian bit, because he can't even tell the difference. He thinks he's an expert. See you later, Tommy. Have fun upstairs without Joe. I played the wrong bit, by the way, but it's okay because I hate Dead Lobster. I've got the old ACN. We're going to play some old ACN today because they have a whole bunch of smoking crap, and smoking crap is lots of fun. Mobile in West Palm, hello.
Hey, George.
Yes.
How you doing?
All right.
Listen, I got an idea. What about if we just have the insurance companies write policies based on your habit? In other words, if you're an alcoholic, they write an alcoholic policy.
Okay.
If you're a smoker, they write a smoking policy.
Okay.
But how about one other thing? I got one other beef about smoking.
Mm-hmm.
If you smoke marijuana, whether you do or you don't, it's immaterial, but if you smoke marijuana, you might get addicted to it, but it's never been proven.
You might get addicted to it? Yeah.
You might, but it's never been proven.
It's never been proven. I personally smoke, and a lot of people that I know and all my life have smoked. I don't know anyone who's been addicted to marijuana.
Got it. Now, but there's no nicotine evidently in marijuana, so
Correct.
nobody gets lung cancer.
Well, I mean, you can get. I mean, you're still sucking smoke into your lungs, which is bad for you. All that resin. I mean, anybody who uses a bong knows, that has to clean it, knows that all that resin that's in your bong, that's getting into your lungs. So no, that's not good for you either.
But it's never been proven that smoking marijuana causes lung cancer.
They've never made that association.
So why don't they just legalize marijuana and let the cigarette companies make high quality marijuana and let everybody smoke it?
Okay, that's okay by me.
That would eliminate the problem of, worrying about medical attention when you get old.
There you go.
Good answer?
Okay, hey, it's fine by me. It's never going to happen, but sure.
Well, why? Why can't they just... See, the thing is, it's never the principle, George. It's always the money.
Right. Well, they could tax the weed. Instead of
the same $20 or $25 a carton for marijuana cigarettes should more than suffice the taxable needs of the government.
Right.
Once that qualification has been met, there's no reason that they shouldn't have marijuana as a legal drug.
Well, sir, you're making too much sense. I have to hang up on you now.
All right, thank you.
11:24 on QAM. That's never going to happen. They're never going to legalize pot and make cigarettes illegal, although the way they're going now, that might be the cigarettes illegal. Ken Jenny busting the people. They had that on the 60 Minutes, busting the children's for smoking. That would be so amazing to me if the cops knocked on my door and they had my daughter there, and I'd be like, oh, my God, what did she do? Did she vandalize something? Did she, all freaked out? We caught her smoking. I would have to bite my lip to keep from laughing. They caught her smoking. That's so funny, because all little kids, they'll do that. No, you're justifying it. No, I'm not. They all know it's poison. From the age of 3 or 4, they all know it's poison, but they're going to do it anyway because they're mimicking mommy and daddy. See the picture on the bulletin board? Daughter smoking a cigar. It was out when that picture was taken, but it's cute. 10-year-old girl smoking a big old fat stogie. From Nick's, by the way. Oh, speaking of Nick's, we're out, Mike and Nick down there, if you guys are listening. We're out of smokes over here, and I've got the last of those, and I don't know what they're called because you just sent a bundle without a label, but they're a Claro wrapper. They're a mild, light-colored wrapper, and they're not a torpedo, and they're about yay long, and I don't know what they are, but they're really, really good, and I chain smoke them, so please send more. Mobile and Homestead, hello.
Hey, what's up, George?
All right. Nothing.
I agree with you, though. I mean, everybody knows what they do, you smoke cigarettes, it's bad for you, I smoke weed myself. I know it, maybe it's not good, because anything, like you
maybe
say,
it's not good. It is not good.
I mean, it feels good.
It feels good, but you know what? So do a lot of things that are bad for you.
Exactly.
Feel
good. Sex. Sex is good. It's
well,
also dangerous.
but that's actually good for you.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing it safe, sex is actually good for you. Good exercise, good aerobic exercise there, keeps your prostate healthy.
Yeah, but the thing is with cigarettes, I can't tell people, don't smoke, they're bad for you, because, I smoke weed, and maybe they think that about weed.
Of course
but,
they do.
you know, the cigarette company messed up. They should have just, you know, said, hey, look, put it on the thing. Don't smoke them. They're bad for you. Like you said, they're going to keep smoking them anyway.
Nobody cares. Everybody knows. I don't know anyone that's so dumb that they don't know that it's bad for you.
Yeah.
Maybe back in the, you know, in the 1900s or something like that, before all the studies came out, people were oblivious. And maybe at that time there would have been something to the lawsuit, because then they didn't tell anybody and nobody knew. So maybe. But we all know now. We all know that it's going to kill you.
My grandma's 85 years old. She's coughing up her lung, and every time I go see her, she's smoking a
there's a good
cigarette.
shot of her tattoo right there, Joe. You see her tattoo? Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, man.
All right, bye-bye. 1122 WQAM, Palm Beach. Hello. Palm Beach.
George, hello.
Yes?
Hi, how you doing?
Okay.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Wasn't there a woman a while ago that spilled some hot coffee on herself?
Yes, McDonald's. She sued McDonald's.
Yeah.
And won.
And yeah, she not only did she won, but I think the jury awarded all kinds of millions
Big
of dollars.
bucks. It was
the judge got so pissed off. He said,
It
"Hey, you're only going to get 400,000."
And McDonald's, and now they have to put warning labels on the
Yeah,
coffee. Hey,
yeah.
guess what? The coffee's hot. No, the coffee's hot. I want it to be hot, asshole.
Unbelievable.
I don't want cold coffee.
Unbelievable.
You, especially at the drive-thru, you want your coffee
Yeah.
to be steaming hot because you're taking it somewhere.
That's fun. And also, I saw that 60 Minutes bit. As a given, teenagers are going to rebel. So all you got to do is say something bad for you, and you can't do it. They're going to do it 10 times over.
Of course.
It's unbelievable.
Yep.
And just on another topic, I don't know if it's apropos or nothing, but on the internet, maybe this has to do with the same thing. But on the internet, I read an article that said fully 80% or 70% of what's on the internet is either scams or sex or illegal.
Right.
And. So what are you going to do? Ban the internet?
There are a lot of people that would like to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I'm computer illiterate.
Yeah.
But I would know an internet from I don't know. But I mean, anything. What do they say? If it tastes good and feels good, it's no good.
There you go.
So,
exactly right, sir.
George, good show.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, I guess. 1123. Yeah, the internet thing. I like that the internet is wide open and unregulated, and there's all kinds of crap and misinformation and scams and everything on there, just like the real world, just like life. And I'd like it to stay that way, but not if other people have their say about it. But they're pissing into the wind, because what can you do about it? All you have to do is locate your site overseas or on a boat or whatever. Give a phony address. I mean, I don't know the finer points of how that works, but it's a free-for-all, and I like that it's a free-for-all, and it should stay a free-for-all. I was trying to find stuff about the 70s show on there. Do you watch that? Have you watched that yet? It's still hit or miss. Last night was hit.
I've seen it.
You've seen the missy ones then. It's really weak much of the time. I watch it because there's nothing else on, and I like Donna the redhead. Tell me she's not cute.
She's cute.
She's cute, dude. And the wife and I are arguing about, in their credits in the beginning, and they play them really fast, what is that actress's name? She says that it's Mila Kunis, because that's the first female name that appears, and she's the primary female character. But I think Mila Kunis is Jackie, the other one, the brunette.
Wasn't she the daughter on Sybil?
Who? Mila Kunis?
The redhead.
The redhead. I never watched Sybil.
Who was also the little girl in Dune.
The little girl in Dune? Alia?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. See, I don't know about her, and I tried to find something on it. Nothing on there. Even at the Fox site, they didn't have a cast. So I think that it's Laura Prepon is Donna, is the Donna character, and the wife says, no, it's Mila Kunis. So maybe somebody out there will actually have a clue and let us in on that. Don't answer those phone calls. I'm going to take a break. 11:25 on 560 WQA.
Where do you find Kim Bocamper? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
They're smoking it out in the Everglades.
Second-hand smoke, they're breathing second-hand smoke. And they'll lose a lung without taking a toll.
Hey, smokers, tired of all those annoying, whining non-smokers who constantly complain about your secondhand smoke? Well then, this butt's for you. Introducing new Secondhand Rose 100, the high-nicotine, ultra-high tar cigarette, especially designed for you to light and leave and let everyone else breathe. There's nothing passive about this smoke. Secondhand Rose 100s put out more carcinogens than a bus in Mexico City. So pick up some long-stem Rose 100s, and your non-smoking friends will be pushing up daisies.
Second-hand smoke, they're breathing second-hand smoke from second-hand
the cigarette that tells non-smokers, kiss my ass.
1130, 560 WQAM, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line, and it's wide open. I'm not going to be one of these people that says, oh, if you move fast, we have an open line. If you move really fast, they're all open. It's wide open. I guess nobody disagrees. We had all these people saying, yeah, right on. Nobody disagrees. We haven't had one call from someone saying, oh, yeah, man, they should be illegal. They should sue the tobacco manufacturers. They should make it illegal. They should arrest all the children. They should card you when you get to, I guess they do that already. They do card you because they can get busted then. The convenience stores, the tobacco selling trailers over at the Hollywood Seminole. Speaking of Hollywood Seminole, that was front page on the Sun Sentinel. How conscientious I am when I'm doing the show. I actually buy a newspaper every now and then so that I feel like I'm in touch, which doesn't help because the rags in this town are out there. And in the Sun Sentinel, where did I put it? Way down here on the floor. You don't have any music queued up, do you? Here, I'll play a Power 96 promo.
Be the 96 caller and win $10,000 cash.
Okay, that's enough. I just had that ready because I was ranting about Holiday. Once again, Holiday. Keep your hands off my intern. And front page, gambling seeks to grow in state, and you can already see, even though they're hypocritical, they have ads for gambling type things, and they give the sports bets and everything like that. By David Nitkin, the Tallahassee Bureau, no less. Already the slant, you can see it. Florida voters have spoken again and again. 3 times in the past 21 years, Floridians have said no to casinos, refusing to turn the state into an East Coast Las Vegas where vacationers shuttle from theme parks to beaches, blackjack tables, leaving a trail of cash behind. What's wrong with that? I'd like to know. And again, they have a quote in here from our new Gov Jeb, saying, we're not going to see economic benefits with more gambling, Bush said. We already have too much gambling. State government ought to be promoting a more healthful way of life. I underline and highlighted that. Government ought to be promoting a more healthful way of life for its citizens, and that's what I intend to do. I thought the Republicans were for all of these vices, like the tobacco. The Republicans are big into the tobacco, and pretty much they're the ones that are about letting businesses do their own thing, whatever those businesses might happen to be, whether it's tobacco or gambling or whatever. But not this guy, apparently. He's going to, it didn't matter. Democrat, Republican, the governors are not going to let us have gambling. Not that they have anything to say about it anyway. But don't call, Casino Stan. Anyone who's been to Vegas knows, there are two kind of people that are against the gambling thing. One kind, or maybe they're both. Some segment of the population believe that gambling is going to turn the city into a big crime-ridden, mafia-infested hole, which is what it is anyway, so who cares? And that's not what Vegas is. And the other people are out to, once again, just like the smoker people, protect those compulsive gamblers, like all the listeners of this radio station. They're going to protect them from themselves so that they don't gamble away the baby's milk money. To which I say, go ahead, gamble away the baby's milk money if that's what you're about. That means I win the game of life. People with problems, you're going to lose the game of life. Those of us who have our problems under control, we're going to win the game of life. So I don't know why there has to be these people running around trying to protect me from my compulsive gambling, which I'm not. And all 3 trips to Vegas, I think collectively, between the wife and I both, we gambled maybe $200 in 3 trips. That's it. And on one occasion, I left with their money. I left ahead. I'm not even counting that. I'm just factoring it all in overall. And that was $200 for hours and hours of fun, by the way, hours and hours of fun sitting on a comfy chair, sucking down free drinks, looking down the cleavage of some really hot blackjack dealer. So what's wrong with that? And if we had casinos down here, why would anyone go to Vegas? Granted, it would take a while before we got anywhere close to what's going on over there in Vegas. It is just so palatial and nice, everything that's going on over there. But if we had casinos on the beach, if these hotels on the beach had casinos, and probably the Micosukis are going to get it, and the Seminoles. I was just talking to Brian, their sales rep, this morning. They're on the verge. And I say more power to them. This goes back to Friday. We were talking about the Indians. They ought to be allowed to do whatever the hell they want on their lands. And if it's going to take them to bring casinos to South Florida, then you go. You go, Tonto. I don't want to sound denigrating because I love my Indian brothers and sisters. Mobile and Aventura, hello.
George, how are you?
All right.
I agree with you regarding to the gambling. here in South Florida and everything, which would be really nice. My wife and I are very frequent of Las Vegas. I mean, we go out there at least 3 to 4 times a year. We stay at the
let me ask you a
Bellagio.
question. Would you go out there if they had that kind of thing going on over here?
No.
Would you feel the need? No.
Because it would ruin the whole thing, because you just want to get out of the state just to get out of the state and to go and have fun. I mean, relatives in Las Vegas. I have relatives in Atlantic City. I don't like Atlantic City because it's too dumpy and it's too crappy,
Right,
and
but it was dumpy
borderline.
It was dumpy before gambling, from what people tell me. I've never been there, but I
Atlantic,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Atlantic City. You have basically a borderline street where you have the projects on one side, and then you have basically the casinos on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not want to step foot in that area across New Jersey Avenue, or else you'll probably get your butt kicked.
Okay.
But otherwise, or shot, or whatever. And the problem is that what they're doing, they chased away everybody. They're trying to chase away everybody, and they're pushing them back as far as they can do it and everything, because then they're putting more casinos, and they opened up the marina, the Trump Marina, and they opened up I think they opened up 2 other casinos that are right in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And the Harrah's opened up also, and they just like kept them in a hole there, and it's really disgusting in Atlantic City. Now compared to Las Vegas, yeah, you go down towards the Stratosphere area or something like that, and between Fremont Street and where the Stratosphere is, that can be pretty rough around that area. But otherwise, though, I mean, you're going to Las Vegas. It's nice around there, and we love it.
Beautiful on the Strip and safe.
Yes, it is very safe on the Strip.
Right.
Absolutely, very very safe. And but just basically for bringing gambling here in Florida, I mean, I could see I think it would ruin. I really think it would ruin. It would ruin the theme park to going back out to Las Vegas and everything, because you could do the same thing there and you can do the same thing here.
Okay. Thanks.
That's my opinion.
Okay. No problem. I have no idea what he said. Did he go back and forth?
No, he did not.
Is he for it?
He's against it.
He's against it? Oh, well, screw you, buddy. I want a casino.
That would take away the specialness of Las Vegas.
Oh, good. I don't want Las Vegas to be special. We don't live there. We live here. We want South Florida to be special.
It would take away the adventure of going
if there
to
was
another
just
state.
A Caesar's Palace kind of place on the beach, and the hotels are already there, but if you're a tourist and you're staying on the beach, what is there to do? There's the beach. Okay, I'm done.
Shops.
Oh, boy, the shops. Boy, you can't shop anywhere else in the country.
The Sunglass Hut.
Yeah, the Sunglass Hut. And don't forget the T-shirt shack and the Thong Palace. I mean, you can shop anywhere.
Store.
You can shop anywhere. We want to keep people around. We want to keep them here locally.
They're supermodels.
Oh, yeah. South Beach, already Washington Avenue. You got the crack whores walking up and down Washington Avenue over just one block off of South Beach.
That's a tourist attraction in itself.
There you go. But it wouldn't be made worse if there were casinos there. It would only be better if there were casinos down there on South Beach, on Washington Avenue, even if they were rinky-dinky little places. What about what's going on south-south? Wasn't there going to be a big hotel or something developing going on there right around the Joe's area? Wasn't there, they were going to trash some things, tear down a bunch of buildings and build a big palatial thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it going on? I haven't been there in ages. Down there in ages.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, because I hate the South Beach scene. Very plastic, overpriced, bad food. Don't like it. Like the breasts on the beach themselves, but it ain't worth the struggle to try to find a parking space to see naked breasts. It ain't worth it for me. 21 till 12.
Where do you find Joe Rose, Jeff DeForest, and Steve Goldstein? The first team, right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
What is a Buffalo Bill?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Adios, Taco Bell. See you later, Mickey D's. Now there's Smoker King. Yeah, the fast food place where you can ruin your health in a comfortable atmosphere, far away from non-smoking panty waste.
Welcome to Smoker King. What do you want?
I'll take a flame-spoiled double choker, a large order of smoke rings, and a carton of Camels.
Want to fight with that?
Yeah.
At Smoker King, you can eat like a slob and smoke like a chimney. And hey, isn't that what life's all about?
Hey, man, hand me a napkin and
Martin.
Smoker King. It's like eating in an ashtray.
Smoker King for smoke and fun. The nicotine gives you zing. As long as you got one good love, what the hell is at Smoker King?
1144 560 WQAM, Dade County, wide open, 5670560. That's 305-5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Hollywood, hello.
Hey, George, how you doing?
All right.
I'm getting a little bit PO'd about how the government treats us like we're children.
Right.
And
like your mother.
But there's a reason behind that. We have become dependent on the government to tell us what to do, how to think, what to eat.
Who's we?
The populace has let this happen. We don't think for ourselves anymore. I mean, why does a cigarette pack have to have on it that is dangerous, or a bottle of whiskey should have on it?
Because some whiny anti-smoking health notes had it there. They thought that it would have some kind of an effect.
But this carries on to other things too. I mean, now what food we should be eating. The government is babysitting us, and
exactly.
And here's a jerk off like Bush telling me that I can't be having fun gambling or smoking or doing things. They're condescending.
It's not healthy. It's not healthy. Is what
they're condescending.
Yeah.
To the people.
They think
got
they
some
know
kind
better
of a
than
fairy tale idea in their mind the way life should be, like Leave the Beaver type lifestyle that we all supposed to live.
Right.
And a prick like Bush, it's infuriating to me. And they're all that way.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to do with any kind of voting or the government, because to me this is not the land of the free anymore. We're about it.
When I got off the banana plane, that's what they told me, but I think they were mistaken.
Yeah. Well, my old man's getting ready to head back to Germany. He got out of there because of the war, but he's going back. He said, "This is a nut house anymore."
It is a nut house.
And I've had, you just got to do for yourself and think for yourself. I'm trying to teach my kids how to think, and not to go along with whatever the general populace goes with, like the sheep.
Right.
And that's what I enjoy about Neil, is because he puts he throws a wrench into the cog of government and all that, the way he thinks, and that's what I love about the guy.
Yes.
And more of us should think that way.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, George.
Thank you. We haven't had one militant anti-smoker call up all weepy. My father died of lung cancer, and I'm trying to save other people's lives. And you're not going to save anyone's life. You're not going to convince anyone not to smoke. On Friday we had a call. Some guy said, his girlfriend's chain smokes, and what can he do about that? Nothing. You can't do anything about that, sir. If you put any pressure on her, you're just going to alienate yourself. They have to come to that decision by themselves. They have to get tired of coughing every morning. They have to get tired of that. Yes, sir.
What about the fact that they're addicted?
Yeah. Who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know that?
Maybe they want
before
to
the fact,
and they can't.
Yeah. So we're gonna let's all jump in and save them. Let's have an intervention. Let's lock them in a room until the nicotine works its way out of their system. And there are lots of things that are addictive, like caffeine, for example, which I'm all hopped up on right now. Very addictive. Alcohol, incredibly addictive. You can't protect people from themselves. They're going to go out and do these things.
All of these things.
No matter what you try to do. And all you're going to do is piss them off. Nobody can help you with these things. You have to come to that decision by yourself. And the more you pressure them, the more militant they're going to get. The more you pressure a smoker not to smoke, the more militant they're going to be about smoking. And that's something that seems to escape all these people that drive these campaigns, and the truth kids. Oh, God, the truth kids. Tell me that these kids just spontaneously decided to do this. Tell me that an organization is not behind it. Well, we know that there's an organization behind it because we saw one of the guys on 60 Minutes last night. These kids didn't just get together and go, let's go out and try to stop people from smoking. It just didn't happen. Mobile in Aventura, hello.
Yes, I was calling regarding the gambling, and I just want to say I'm a proponent of gambling in Florida. I've been to Vegas before, and I really appreciate the fact that there's successful businessmen out there that are making a commitment to their community, whereas
in Vegas you're talking about.
Yeah, in Vegas right now, you go out there, you look at the Mirage Group or Circus, and all the people are very friendly.
Mm-hmm.
The city's absolutely clean.
Right.
And, basically, I think that Florida needs a lot less condominiums on the beach.
Amen.
And maybe a few more successful business people bringing about some successful resorts that bring money into the state.
This is supposed to be a tourist town. What
Exactly.
you do for tourists is you give them something to do so that they will come and they will stay. The ships, and we have a lot of these ships that are our sponsors, with all due respect, I'm not going to diss them because their business is just like anybody else. Guess what? We don't get any of that money. The registries are elsewhere. They don't pay the taxes here locally. The people that come to go on these cruises go straight from the airport, shuttle bus, right to the ship. They don't drop a dime in this town.
Exactly. And, the other thing that I think is pretty important to look at is the fact that I think that our legislative system just doesn't want to try to come up with a new method in which to zone properly, gambling facilities in the state of Florida. And what they're going to end up doing is losing their efforts to Cuba in the future, where we're going to see a lot of tourist dollars going to a sunny, tropical area that includes gambling. And
where
it's
they
just,
can go to the beach and gamble their brains out all night and sleep on the beach all day. Exactly.
And I'm from Florida, born and raised. I can't wait until the day that they come to their senses in this state and decide that gambling is for the state of Florida,
You'll be
and
dead.
especially for South
You'll
Florida.
be dead first before these yokels pass the gambling ordinance.
I really hope not. It's
They've
definitely not.
got to change the state constitution. See, that's the big problem. I mean, Dade and Broward would just, because it passed down here every time that they vote. Obviously, the South Florida people. Florida's like two totally different states. There's South Florida and then the rest of the ringworm bitten yokels.
Right.
And those are the people that aren't going to let us have gambling because it's part of the Constitution.
Because they're just allowing dollars to go 3 miles offshore.
They don't care about us or our economy down
away.
here in South Florida, and they think that it's evil. I mean, when you get north of the Dade Broward line or the Palm Beach line, it's Bible Belt, and gambling is an evil sin.
I would suspect that most of the cruise ships that leave out of the north end of the state of Florida include gambling on every one of their trips, and 3 miles offshore, like you say, they begin to plunge their brains out, and it does zero for the state of Florida.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Bye.
No problem. 9 till 12. It was ridiculous. I've been on 2 of those little cruises to nowhere, both of them for free, of course, radio. One was a Christmas party, and the other one I got some passes because I was a good producer boy. So they greased my palm with some passes. And we're running around the ship, having a good time, bopping from one bar to another, trying to find some music that we like. And I ran in both ships, and there were two different ships. All of a sudden, you run into this crowd of people before you've even gotten out of the port. Here's this crowd of people. Why can't I get through this throng, this crowd of people? What are these people all doing collected here in a hallway in this big anteroom? Why can't I get past these people? And what was it? They're waiting for the casino doors to open on the ship. They were packed. Every hall leading to the casino was packed, and you couldn't walk past them. And as we all know, who've been on ships, the hallways are not very wide. And there they all are, old people, young people, everywhere in between, just beating the door down. They can't wait for the doors to open so they can get in there and plunge their brains out. And we could have that down here locally on the beach. We could have all these people coming from all over the place, because why would you go to the middle of the desert? I mean, I love Vegas. I love Vegas, walking the Strip, and you see people walking, and we were there with them. A drink in one hand, a couple coins in the other hand. You shake your coins at each other as you pass somebody in the street, and you're all drunk off your ass. I mean, is there a place down here where you can walk the street drunk and not get rolled? Is there a street, an avenue, a terrace or court that you can walk drunk off your ass, with a cup of money in your hand, with a cup full of dollars, and not get beat over the head and rolled? And that was everybody. Brightly lit. The streets were like it was daylight outside. 3 o'clock in the morning, packed with people, laughing, drinking, yucking it up, having a great time. It was a party, a mile-long party, all up and down the Strip. And Neil always talks about renting a car. Hey, we never rented a car. You walk on the Strip. It's great. It was wonderful. Take the trolley, the cheap-ass trolley, because I'm a schlepper. When I go to Vegas, I'm not going to rent a car. I can't rent a car. I got to use that money for gambling, for crying out loud. And we could have it here. The South Beach thing could be just like that, all lit up and bright anywhere, even further north, because all we have are a few blocks on South Beach, and then you get north of that, and it's Deadsville all over again. Talk about revitalizing that area. Why not? But it ain't ever going to happen. Mobile and Aventura, again. Hello, different one.
George?
Yes?
Stan. one of the hotels on South Beach is one I work for, Shelburne Beach Resorts.
Mm-hmm.
I beg to differ because we get a lot of people staying at the hotel for 2 or 3 days prior to them going on cruises.
Okay.
And I know all the hotels around us get the same type of business.
Well, how about if they, instead of 2 or 3 days waiting to go on a cruise, well, how about if they spent the whole week there instead of going on a cruise?
Right, a whole week would be better, but you said the majority of them
I
go right from the airport.
I go to the airport a lot, both Fort Lauderdale and Miami, and I never go to the airport without seeing several of these cruise ship places holding up the signs over their heads, taking people straight to the bus, straight to the ship.
You're right also, but I know some people do go to South Beach.
Yeah.
Or other hotels.
But the point is, a tourist place should have everything to do. You shouldn't have to go somewhere else because they don't have that where you want to go. That's the point. There should be everything here for the tourists. Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
But no, your point is that nobody goes to the hotels.
Okay.
That's wrong.
All right, almost nobody then. I stand corrected. Almost nobody goes to the hotels waiting to get on these cruise ships. And again, a lot of them are our sponsors. More power to them. Ships registry everywhere else but here. Coral Gables, hello. Last call of the day, Coral Gables. Yeah.
George.
Yes.
It's your Las Vegas expert.
Okay. Oh, Bob Lincoln.
Yeah.
How are you, Bob?
Let me share some facts with you. You know I'm for gambling down here. I just want to share some facts for the audience so they know. Las Vegas this year they need to hire 38,000 people. There's 38,000 jobs for just this year with the new casinos opening there. That's just one point. Let's go over to Nassau, the new Atlantis. Atlantis, I can send somebody for a week to the MGM Grand for less money than I can put somebody up at Atlantis for the weekend.
Okay.
So all the money, and you can't. That's if you can get a room. In Vegas, you can't get a room.
Right.
At Atlantis, you can't get a room. They're running at 90% occupancy, and the only reason that Biloxi, Mississippi, is working is because of people from South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the revenue and everybody that's going, Las Vegas gets 37 million people a year. The cruise industry they only do about 5 million people that go on cruises a year, per opposed to over 27 million that go up to Orlando. So I would think that there's a reason that we don't, Orlando doesn't want us to get casino gambling. Are you going to go up there and see Disney for the umpteenth million time, or are you going to come down here and see the beautiful South Beach or the beautiful beaches that we have and also have casino gambling? But, if you look at the numbers, they're staggering.
Yes.
That goes out of the state.
Okay.
So anyway, that's just the update in the numbers. I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye. And it's sad that the old man doesn't want to do any more Vegas trips. I really enjoyed those free Vegas trips. No question about that.
That would be great.
And the thing about Vegas, which was great also, and yes, I will take that break. Hey, we're playing it as we go along. Since I'm not a compulsive gambler, I could really take or leave the gambling personally. I didn't go to Vegas to gamble. I went to Vegas to live it up, to party, to have fun, and that's what we did. We ran around, we drank free or cheap, we ate free or cheap, and it's all driven by the gambling. What a great deal. Other people pay for my vacation. The compulsive gamblers pay for those of us who are not, because that's why everything there is designed to draw you into the casinos. They want you to have a good time no matter what you're doing in the hotels and the casinos over there, whether you gamble or not. Of course, they hope that you do. And if you do gamble and you get the card, like they said, which we never did because we never gambled that much, come to find out that even if you gamble insignificantly, you'll still get something, a free T-shirt, a meal, something out of it once they rate you. But we never spent enough money to think that it would be worthwhile. And everything was free or cheap because it was like a loss leader. They bait you with the cheap buffets, the cheap rooms, low airfare. They bait you with all of these things, and the rest of us can just take advantage of that. You would have to drop so much money to have as much fun at a bar or a club down here. To go to a place with a live band and drink and just spend all night at a club dancing and drinking cost bucks down here. pocket change over in Vegas because the drinks are cheap. I'm not, we're ordering Black Russians, White Russians. These are like what? There's like 3 shots or something like that. I'm expecting to pay $5 or something. Isn't that what you would pay down here?
Yeah, beer is $3.75.
For a multi-shot mixed drink, $2.50, $3. For a single shot mixed drink, $1.50, $2 max.
Where's this?
Beer $1. Vegas. Heck with that, it's free. It's free if you're a gambler. If you just sit at a table before you play out your first hand of blackjack, your free drink is sitting right there. If you're a gambler, if you're just going up to the clubs or anything like that that are in the casinos, and Caesars was the best because they had like 3 live bands going on a Friday night in different places throughout the casino. And Cleopatra's Barge, rocking and jiving on the dance floor that's pitching and rocking, and all these drunk people falling into each other. You gotta love that. 12 noon on 560 WQAM.
Where do you find Ed Kaplan? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It is so hard.
October is National Youth Against Tobacco Month. Gee, what are the little idiots going to do at the mall?
Oh, is that it? Jesus Christ! See, I'm playing all these things that have smoker on it by the ACN people. They must have a lot of militant anti-smokers working at ACN. I didn't know that was that short though. But I got a fax from a militant non-smoker and a bunch of other crappy faxes that went right in the garbage because they're old and we've all heard these things before. Blah, 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 blah. The residue of cigarette smoking is smoke, and your smoke bugs me. I drink beer. The residue of my drinking beer is urine. I don't pee on you, so don't smoke on me, that kind of thing. I had friends that chewed tobacco, both North Carolina and Montana. A lot of chewing going on. As a matter of fact, more chewers than not. If you don't chew snus, in Montana especially, the pinch between the cheek and gum kind of thing, you're a minority among the guys up there. That was a selling point. The girls would walk around and look at your ass to see if you had the white Copenhagen can ring or the skull ring on your jeans before they decided whether or not they were going to stick their tongue down your throat. Or sometimes they wouldn't bother to check. It didn't matter to them. But that was the big thing up there, is chewing snus. Yeah. Grody. I tried it for about half a second. Pooey! That smells like a horse piss. The Copenhagen. I don't know how people do that. But nevertheless, and that's gross. That's gross. My friends who chewed, which were, let me think, all of them, they would spit into something. If we were indoors, if we were playing poker, pinochle, whatever, they had their personal spittoon, their styrofoam cup or empty beer can or something like that they were spitting into, and sometimes they'd miss, and sometimes it would dribble down their chin, and they had to wipe it off, and it stunk, and it was incredibly gross and disgusting. But even my chewing friends were militant about the smokers, and they would say things like, I don't spit my tobacco juice on you, so don't blow your cigarette smoke on me. And I'm not saying that smokers should be insensitive about the fact that cigarette smoking stinks, and so does cigar smoking, which is why I don't do it around people whom it bothers, except, of course, if I'm in my own house, having my own fun. I mean, obviously, if I'm having a family party or something like that, I don't blow smoke in the old ladies' faces. I cut it out for those occasions. But if I have friends over or something like that, I'm going to enjoy a cigar, usually out back, though, because I try not to smoke around the kid, at least not in enclosed spaces. If we're driving in the car, I'll smoke a cigar. I love road cigars. Smoking a cigar on the road is pleasure, especially if it's a long road trip. And I'll roll the window down, open the sunroof, yada, yada. All the smoke goes out the window. I enjoy smoking while I'm driving. So, yeah, please be conscientious. I'm not talking that people shouldn't be conscientious. I'm just saying, leave the people alone who want to smoke already, all you nosy Budinsky kids and all the people that are behind them, because I know it wasn't their idea. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale, hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice talking to you, too. Hi, Leah, hello.
Hello, George.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
I always listen to you when Neil is away. I think you really do a good job, and I'm not just saying that.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to talk to you about gambling real briefly in Miami. I'm definitely against it, and I'll tell you why.
Please tell me why.
Well, I'm not one of these diehard religionists who think that gambling is unholy and it's all this. I have very realistic reasons why I disagree with gambling in Miami.
Okay.
The first reason is because Las Vegas is a city that was specifically designed for gambling, for drinking, for partying, for whatever you want to do. It's a city that was specifically designed for that purpose. The outlying areas, the suburban areas of Las Vegas are the people who work and live there.
Yeah.
So you don't have these little neighborhoods. You don't have suburban life like you have in Miami, where you have banks, you have little grocery stores, you have all kinds of different people from different genres, different from people economic backgrounds.
There's
So
suburbs
you have
around Vegas. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been there, but it's not like Miami. So when you mix the two
No,
together,
it's not like Miami. It's clean and safe.
right? No, I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying that when you have a city that was specifically designed for gambling, and the people who go there come from other places in the country or world to go there, you don't have that doesn't set up the pace for crime or stuff like that.
I don't know why. All right, well, go ahead. I mean, I'm listening, but I don't know what that has to do with us.
Because
if it works there with nothing else going on, and trust me, there's nothing else there. It's a desert.
That's right.
A
It works
desert
there.
is a dam.
That's the key. There's nothing else going on. Just gambling and just all the party life, which is great.
So why wouldn't it work here with presumably lots of things going on, but we could also have that too?
Well, you can't have that too. That's the
Why
whole
not?
thing, because it creates a volatile situation.
How?
Well, because you're mixing gambling. You're mixing a city, a section of Miami with gambling, and then you have the surrounding areas with people who aren't there to gamble. They're people who are just living their ordinary lives.
So what are you saying, that it's going to suck them into the gambling? And
no, I'm saying that